at Merrimack County, New Hampshire Department of Correction. This call is subject to recording and monitoring. This call is subject to recording and monitoring. To accept this free call, press 1. To refuse this free call, press... Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hello.
Hello, Ed. It's good to hear your voice.
Hey, how you doing, Rudy?
Doing good.
Another day.
Yep. Hey, I did have a quick question for you. I don't want to interrupt you on what you were going to talk about, but we did order those books from the HamiltonBook.com as well as a Webster's a dictionary, a law dictionary. So I just want to make sure they actually give them to you, and they don't hold them in the mailroom.
The Webster's came in yesterday. I got it today. I have that. Thank you very much. Super duper.
Great.
It's probably the information out of these books that's going to finally get me out of here.
Great.
And I'm sure that it is. The schedule for getting out is meeting next week with the U.S. Attorney's Office on something they want to talk about. Nobody knows what it is. I have my suspicions. It's probably about either one or two of the cases. The Quaycam case, my lawsuit against all of them, in collusion with this European cartel that I'm trying to expose, or it's about the habeas corpus for media release, filing charges against the Department of Justice, BOP, and just about everybody under the sun in between for attempted murder, torture, and abuse statewide. But the Quaycam case is a case that's really important because it covers everything from A to Z. What nobody understands, Rudy, is that in 1933, under the New Deal, you remember hearing about that?
Yep.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt. They actually went bankrupt. And it's on the books, of course. Everybody knows that they went bankrupt. Well, not everybody, but everyone in government knows that they're bankrupt. But what they did is when they went into receivership, if it was just the United States of America going into receivership, it would have been okay. But in 1871, the United States government then, that Congress, I forget what the number was, incorporated the United States for a private incorporation for profit. So that the United States of America, number 2, became a business like McDonald's or anybody else. They are the ones who, the corporation has been spending all this money and running up their debt, going to wars, and doing all this sort of thing. And now you have this debt there, $26 trillion. It's actually a hell of a lot more than that. But it's $26 trillion debt that you see on television. That debt is owed to the American people. That's what nobody seems to understand. Now, what they did was they during March 9, 1933, they took the people and they made them the assets of the United States of America, along with all of the buildings and the land and everything else from coast to coast for this debt to the International Monetary Fund. The International Monetary Fund, or the World Bank, out of Switzerland, I think it's in Sarn, Switzerland, sent over a governor to run the Treasury Department. The Federal Reserve belongs to them, and the IRS belongs to them. The IRS is a private collection agency for the International Monetary Fund. Now, what I'm giving you is fact of record, and it's all historical. And a lot of people out there already know about it, but the trouble is most people don't know about it. No one is obligated to pay that national debt. No one is obligated to pay income taxes. That is for government employees and personnel and administration only, or the states of the United States. And the states of the United States are Guam, Puerto Rico, American Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, and American Samoa. And it used to be the Philippines when they had it. But they let them go. There are two sets of citizens in this country. When you were born a living man in the state, and you were born a free man. But when you were born, like even today now, they attach a Social Security card to the birth certificate they also created. That belongs to them as well. And each the birth certificate and the Social Security card are bonds, negotiable bonds that they attach $1 million to. And then as they get 5 or 10 babies, 20 babies in each location, in a day they can have 100 babies or 500 babies, in an area. And they'll put them all together and they'll loan that money out, that $1 million that they've attached to, loan it out to people for, municipal buildings and highways and dams and buildings, stuff like that, or maybe over hotels or something, over in Europe or something. So people borrow that money, but they have to pay the interest back on that money. Now, the Social Security card sets up what they call a straw man name, all capital letter corporate name in your name. It's a unilateral trust, a SETI K they trust, spelled CESTUI space QUE space VIE SETI K they trust. It's a unilateral, one-sided trust set up by the government. They never told your mama and your papa about it. And every American has one when they're born. You can set it up through the Department of Commerce and whatever, but statistics has it. It has the numbers. I want everybody to acquire their birth certificate and pull them into themselves, and further information will come down the road. But this information can be found on the drobbins88 at Comcast.com. That's the one I gave you to ask you to order those books from. The same place has the little books. You can read about it in those books. $5 to find out just what they've done to you. Well, the interest on that money, on those trusts that's earned, belongs to the people whose names are on that, because they borrowed your name to use your name. And they've been using it to make money for themselves. Well, lo and behold, it's not just for themselves, it's to take out and bleed off the wealth of the gold from the United States of America and give it to the International Monetary Fund. Well, these are the people that I'm suing. They're a foreign national cartel, been around for over 1,000 years. Nothing new about these people, and they are also on the record. But most people don't know about it because they're very, very quiet about their movement. Brilliant people, very smart. And I sympathize with their position. I mean, they have this greedy little self-enhancement things they want to benefit somehow from. God only knows. Anyway, that's that information I wanted to give you partly, and that's what those books are all about. But now people don't know who they are as Americans today, and they need to badly. They wonder why they're having so many problems, why the cities are in such turmoil, where all of this dumbing down comes from in the public school system. It's all part of an agenda by the IMF group or people giving instructions to our Congress and Senate every day. They use these think tanks, they use the Freemasons, they use all kinds of organizations. It's a fact of record. This is not a secret. But it just takes a long time to dig it all out. Well, thank God for a lot of people out there. They've dug this information out. Now it's been available for some time, and people are slowly beginning to acquire it, read it, assimilate it, and then understand it. But they better hurry up, because these people are they know that we're waking up, the whole country's waking up, and the world is waking up to who they are. And the central enemy of all people in the world is the IMF, or the International Monetary Fund dynasty. I really stay focused on that one. That's going to be interesting. This court case I have filed in the Quiet Camp case, I should not be filing alone. But I am, because we're running out of time. Nobody's paying attention to this thing. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an attorney. I'm not versed in law. I don't know what the heck what to really do with this thing, but it has to be done. So I'm doing it. But beyond that, I just got to wait now. Next 30 days, it's going to happen. The Quiet Camp case, I do want more people to join me on this case any way that they can. I'd like to turn it eventually into a class action suit. And if everybody understands what I'm actually doing, they'll join by the millions. I don't know how to get the word out. I'm blocked in here so badly, it's unbelievable. You are one of only 2 contacts I'm able to get the word out to, and it's limited. And like you said, Rudy, you don't know the law.
Right.
You don't understand it. But all these guys that are in prison for the dumbass things that they're in there for, is totally unnecessary. They shouldn't even be in there. But the United States government does not operate as a de jure government. They operate as a de facto government corporation who is taxing you and doing what they're doing. And guess what? They're a bankrupt corporation. They can't be doing this. This is against the law. Huge. This is treason. Clear in its face. I talked to an attorney today over the phone, okay, and I asked him, please try to find me a good, strong law firm that has a good understanding of this courtroom procedure in criminal and international law, because that's what this has turned into. Now, I'm still stumbling here, trying to figure out exactly what to do and how to handle it, and I'm not getting any assistance on it. I'm just looking for guidance and advice, that's all. You know, it's not that hard, but all these prisoners you're taking care of, it's in this case.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I got a quick question. So, you just turned 78. I can tell that you're the type of person from, just communicating with you over the past few years, Mr. Brown. You're not going to slow down. You're not going to give up, right? You're going to go full blast with every breath that you have for the rest of your life. My question is, like, how do they justify you still being in prison, but Daniel Riley, Jason Gerhard, and your wife Elaine, they've let out? How do they justify that? How do they justify
good question.
Yeah.
Because the courts of law in the United States of America are not operating under the common law like the law Constitution says they have to. They have created this whole new different form of law for themselves. In 1948, we discovered what happened and what they said. They said you can call this new type of statutory law or equity law, which is supposed to be a fairness law, anything you want, but don't ever call it what it really is, admiralty law. They're conducting admiralty law in every damn court in this country, state and federal, under admiralty law, which is supposed to be used in ship contracts and ships at sea.
Got it.
Oops.
Yep.
That's treason.
Yep.
That's flat out open in your face treason. And these judges, every damn judge in this country knows this. And while they're doing that, they've also got a retirement program on senior judges saying that they don't have to pay income tax, and they don't pay income tax. Isn't that interesting? They did exactly the same thing to me. That they charged me with the same thing that I wasn't doing. They're doing.
Wow.
But they put me in prison and try to put me in prison for life because I resisted their actions, and they're doing it. And I get it from Cornell University. Cornell University wrote a write-up on the whole thing and saying, the other way, somebody doesn't sue them about this. It's totally unconstitutional what they're doing. And the word doesn't get out about it. I mean, even on that one thing alone, right there, just on that thing alone, supported by Cornell University and other universities, okay, and nobody puts it out there. What's going on? Where's everybody? Won't they wake up?
Yeah.
We got them if we work together, because they work together 24 hours a day. We're crazy. As a people, America has gone south. They're not responding. They're not doing anything. They're talking, they're praying, and they're hoping and wishing, but they're not taking any action. And I'm not talking about militia and all that sort of thing. That has to happen. That's going to happen anyway. But it shouldn't have to if we get everyone to sit at a table and we talk about it now. And they don't want to do it. And yes, Randy, I have to go full bore because nobody else is going full bore. I would like to go home and go fishing for a while and take a rest for about 6 months, get some clothes back on my back.
Right.
My house, by the way, no lie, absolute gospel truth. All these people you hear about out there trying to work the system there and pick up the money in the bank accounts that they say that they have and that the government owes them this money and stuff. Have you heard about that?
No, I missed that. Who's saying?
Huh?
I missed what you're saying. Who's saying the government owes them money?
Yeah, the government, that trust money that they're holding in the Steady K-Bay Trust by using your names is accumulating interest.
Got it. Okay.
On your name.
Yeah. I got it.
Rudy Davis.
Got it.
And Rudy Davis has a bank account of some tens of millions of dollars sitting there waiting for them to pick up if you follow the process. It's totally lawful.
Yep.
You're a creditor of the United States as an uppercase C citizen, as a free man, as an actual bond. But if you're a citizen of the United States, which you're not, you're a state citizen with your own state separate sovereignty. But they get you tricked into thinking that you have to pay all this stuff off for the rest of your life. You don't own your house. Nobody in this country owns their house. Every house has been taken over since March 9th of 1933 under that Trading with the Enemies Act that they made you an enemy and the big debt and the New Deal from Franklin Delano Roosevelt. You don't own anything, not your car, not your clothes, not your children, nothing. It's over. It's done. It's already been done. But the Constitution is still alive. They couldn't get rid of that. That's why they fought the second company, the second United States, and the second Constitution. The first Constitution is a Constitution for the United States of America. The Constitution from after the Civil War in 1871, when they incorporated, became the Constitution of the United States of America. You can see it right on the front of the Constitution book, any place you look at it. There are two constitutions. Choose, gentlemen, which one do you want to be? Are you a free man or American national under God, or are you under a corporation under Lucifer?
Yeah.
Be there. That's
Right.
it. I got a great sermon for you. I tell you, put it on. Did you get my package?
Yes, yeah. I forgot to mention to you, I did get your package with the Fort Fairfield Journal, and we put that on your webpage. The scanning of the front pages of the Fort Fairfield Journal. Yes.
Well, the Department of Justice, and so you know, and everybody else knows, okay, I'm sorry, gentlemen, but there's nothing righteous about them whatsoever. They work directly with the International Monetary Fund, IRS, and the Federal Reserve, okay, to shaft the American people out of everything that they own. Slavery is on, and people are already slaves in this country, and they're not even aware of it.
Yeah.
So they are crooked to the core. That's why the president has so much trouble with them, the Department of Justice. BOP are a criminal private organization out of Nashville, Tennessee.
You know, I'm reading about the relationship between the IMF and International Monetary Fund, the Federal Reserve, and how they work together with the World Bank. So that's
good.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. But it's just amazing to me how they justify keeping you in prison. I know that you said it's admiralty law, and I guess they pretty much do what they want to do, but it just doesn't make any sense that all of your co-defendants have been released, but they're still, I mean, how can they justify keeping you in prison this much longer than everybody else?
Under admiralty law, they can do whatever they want to do because a judge can make arbitrary decisions under corporate admiralty law. It's totally in violation of all of the law of the land. But if the jury says not guilty, the judge can turn it around and say, nah, guilty, I'm going to send him in prison anyway. They hold me back. This Judge Singal out of New Hampshire holds me back, and Stephen McCullough, Judge McCullough, they're not even judges, they're administrators for the bankruptcy anyway. Because, as Mr. McCullough said, he said, and I told him during that first trial, I said, you can't do that. And he gets back to me and says, I just did. Wow, and that's why I left the court and went home, and we had the standoff.
Yeah.
If I couldn't present my evidence, if I couldn't present my witnesses, what was the point of me staying in court?
Right. Yep. And you're not the only one. I heard they denied you the ability to bring up the United States Constitution during your trial, but you're not the only one that's happened to. I've got lots of other men where they did the same thing.
Yeah, well, your other gentlemen, that's why I say I have no secrets. We have no secrets, and I'm not hiding anything from the courts or the governments or anybody else. I'm just stating the fact of record and the fact of laws. All juries have the absolute right to decide over fact and law, but the judge under military law, admiralty law that he's operating under, says, no, I will decide the law and you will decide the fact. That's not correct. But he's doing that anyway. Why? Because we're not operating under the Constitution anymore. We're operating under corporate law, corporate statutes. All statutory law is admiralty law.
Yeah.
We have 3 crimes in common law. Those 3 crimes are: you never hurt anybody, you never hurt their property, and you always be honest in conducting your business and affairs.
You have 1 minute left.
Huh?
It was the recording saying we got 1 minute left.
Yeah, okay, I didn't hear it. Okay, I just want to give you a little note about that, and thank you very much for those books because they're going to help tremendously. Stay posted. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. I do have a great sermon for you. As a matter of fact, I've got several.
Okay. I look forward to hearing it. I hope that I hope that you get some assistance with all of your efforts from people that are
Yeah,
knowledgeable
me too.
about the law, because it's just
Talk to you soon, Rudy.
okay. God bless you, Ed.
Bye.
Bye bye.
The caller has hung up.